Perfect. Alright guys, my name is Jacob Miller. Welcome back to the Jacob Show. Ladies and gentlemen, today it's going to be a very, very special day because I got the top 5 Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC predictions. Now this is coming straight off the heels of the recent Nintendo Direct, ladies and gentlemen. If you have not seen it yet, or even the gameplay of course, Banjo and Kazooie, which, by the way, is available right now. Go ahead and check out the eye icon on the upper right part of your screen. There, you can actually find that video. But for now, let's go and focus on Smash DLC predictions. Who will be next? So, of course, before we actually jump into that, let's focus on the rules of these predictions. Number 1, we will be basing our predictions on the DLC that has recently been announced / released, meaning that we will not have any Microsoft reps or Square Enix reps or another Sega / Atlas rep. Instead, we'll just try to go through different companies and see which character can actually make it into Smash. Which leads us to number 2. We will be looking at their impact in gaming culture as a whole. Now, you may be wondering, but Jacob, Terry Bogard isn't necessarily that iconic. To you, he isn't. But I want to say all the way in South America, I want to believe, he's a gaming icon. He is iconic over there. So, yeah. He has made a big impact in terms of the gaming culture all the way in South America. But let's go ahead and continue with, of course, number 3, or rule 3. Popularity will not be a big concern in terms of predicting these characters. The fact that Terry Bogard is necessarily not that popular in the West, I don't think he's that popular in the East. If you don't include South Africa, something like South America in that, then Terry Bogard isn't necessarily that popular of a choice, nor a character, but yet he's in Super Smash Bros. So, yeah, or at least he's coming to Smash. He will be the Challenger Pack 4, and yeah, that's gonna be exciting. Number 4, leaks will be considered in these predictions. We will be looking at all sorts of leaks for trying to figure out characters that will be, I want to say, suited for Smash Brothers. And of course, finally, we will also be looking at the in-game evidence for these predictions as well. It's actually one of these choices in this predictions list that really does draw a lot from the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate game itself, in terms of like dialogue and end screens, more specifically. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. Let's start this countdown off with number 5, Crash Bandicoot. The character that I feel like doesn't have that big of a shot. Here, let me just brighten this up a bit. Thank you. I feel like this character doesn't have that big of a shot. The reason why I say this is, well, first of all, before I actually say he doesn't have that much of a shot, let's go and look at what he has. He is a gaming icon in the 3D platformer genre. I mean, if you start naming off 3D platformer video game characters, you can honestly name off Mario, Banjo, and Kazooie, Spyro, Crash Bandicoot. He's always in that list of 3D platformer genres in terms of icons. We also have the remastered Crash Bandicoot trilogy, as well as the remastered Nitro Kart games on the Switch. We have a total of 4 remastered Crash Bandicoot games on the Switch, if you count the Crash Bandicoot trilogy being 3 separate games in one disc, or if you consider the entire remastered trilogy one game, since they're all on one disc, then we technically have 2. Okay. And I feel like the biggest piece of evidence for this guy is that near the end of Banjo and Kazooie's reveal trailer, there is a reference to a level from the first Crash Bandicoot game. The thing that I am most specifically talking about in terms of the scene is where, of course, Banjo and Kazooie are literally sneaking up on a giant sleeping Bulbasaur. And, of course, Banjo eats pancakes. A food item within the game Smash Brothers Ultimate. And what happens after that is that, of course, the giant Bulbasaur awakens, and of course Banjo is then promptly being chased after by the giant Bulbasaur, which is an entire reference to one of the Crash Bandicoot levels in the first Crash Bandicoot game. If you actually remember, one of those levels, a Triceratops chases after Crash Bandicoot, and you know what this, and within a jungle landscape, and if we look back at the scene of the Banjo and Kazooie reveal trailer, in terms of the final scene, we see that it is set in a jungle or a forest of somewhat. So yeah, I mean, Crash Bandicoot does make a lot of sense, but I feel like he doesn't have a big chance. I mean, you have some pieces of evidence here and there, but there's not a lot to go off of. So going in with, of course, number 4, we have Doom Guy from the game Doom. Literally one of the best first-person shooter games of all time. First piece of evidence is, of course, Doom 64 was announced to be coming to the Switch, as well as, of course, all 3 of the first Doom games coming onto the Switch, which is perfect. And, of course, big thing is that we also have two new Doom games on the Switch. Doom and Doom Eternal. So, I'm sorry. Doom Eternal hasn't necessarily come out yet, but it is coming to the Switch. Trust me on that. Anyways, yes. I feel like Doom Guy actually does have a shot. I mean, he is an icon in the first-person shooter genre of gaming. I mean, when you think first-person shooters, you probably name off Call of Duty, Halo, Team Fortress 2, but Doom is always a game that will be mentioned. Doom has been there since, I want to say, the SNES era of gaming in terms of Nintendo, and has been there at Nintendo's rise into popularity. So, of course, Doom Guy making it into Smash seems very, very likely. Also, Bethesda did talk to Nintendo about Super Smash Brothers. So, Doom Guy making it in, I could definitely see that being a big possibility. Also, Doom Guy's moveset can work in Super Smash Brothers. In case you're wondering, oh, well, I mean, the guns in the game Doom look super realistic. And the reason why I say that like Doom Guy's moveset can work is because of three playable fighters. Snake, Bayonetta, and Joker. Joker has possibly the most realistic looking gun in the game, as well as a knife. More on that later. Bayonetta in her original game is a bit, shall we say, revealing, and of course does wield guns, and look what happened within when she was first introduced. Nintendo kind of toned her down, but they still kept the idea of Bayonetta, yeah. And also Snake. Snake has an entire moveset based around explosives. So, yeah, I mean, Doom Guy can work. I mean, his entire gun arsenal can work. And you want to know what? Realistic guns are not a problem in terms of Smash DLC. Moving on to number 3, a biggest thing that I feel like can happen. A Pokemon Sword and Shield rep. Now, you may be wondering, Jacob, why another Pokemon rep? I mean, we already have Incineroar, so that's enough. Actually, I feel like yes, I do agree with you. Incineroar is enough in terms of Pokemon reps, but I feel like Nintendo doesn't want to back out from this amazing, profitable idea. I mean, let's go through the evidence first. First of all, Nintendo doesn't necessarily shy away from advertising new games coming to Nintendo consoles. We've seen this with I want to say Fire Emblem in the form of Gorin. We've also seen this with Greninja, which, of course, by the way, that's actually another big part of the evidence. Greninja was put into Smash Bros. Wii U era of Smash Bros. Before Pokemon X and Y came out. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that happening. Also, Pokemon is an icon in the gaming world and Nintendo itself. I mean, when you think of the word Nintendo, besides of Mario and Luigi, who do you think of? What exactly do you think of? Legend of Zelda, Animal Crossing, Kirby, Metroid even? No. The first thing that probably comes to mind is Pokemon. So, I mean, yeah. Pokemon Sword and Shield can definitely happen. Also, I've also noticed within the game itself, there is no Pokemon Sword and Shield spirits or even songs in the game, so yeah. That seems to be a big kind of a shocker to me, since I kind of thought that like Nintendo would be like, all right, we need to go advertise this game as much as possible, and I feel like if they have a character in this game in the form of DLC, then it would actually work. Also, the final thing, all of the starter Pokemon from Pokemon Sword and Shield can have imaginable movesets. I mean, Score Bunny's moveset could be based around his feet. Literally, he could do all sorts of like kicks and flips. Grookey, an entirely rhythm-based moveset, as well as his stick. Sobble, I don't know, but you can still imagine a moveset for him, pretty much. So yeah, that was Pokemon Sword and Shield. Let's move on to the big one, Jeannot. Jeannot is going to make it. I have the biggest gut feeling in my gut. Jeannot is going to happen. I'm sticking with this one through and through. My evidence for it, number one, Jeannot's Mii costume is missing. Back when the Mii costume theory was actually present, it's actually been highly speculated that pretty much they want the hero would actually come with Jeannot's Mii costume, but Jeannot's Mii costume isn't there. It's not available. It's not in the base game. So where is it? We don't know. Also, big suspicious move from Nintendo, because Nintendo actually copyright claimed 2 Super Mario RPG songs, aka the game of which Jeannot hails from. There's also Jeannot's Mii costume was the only one to have a splash screen during the Wii U era. So, I mean, Nintendo, who are you trying to signify here? Also, the biggest parts of evidence in terms of this is from Piranha Plant himself. I actually mean it. Piranha Plant actually supports Jeannot in this case. Let's go ahead and look at Piranha Plant's classic mode end screen. On that end screen, we see, of course, Toon Link using his Wind Waker baton or something to basically conduct 4 Piranha Plants singing, which of course the Piranha Plants singing is actually a reference to the Japanese trailer for the Super Mario RPG game. We also have the fact that, of course, in the Piranha Plants Palutena guidance, they literally state Mega Smilax while naming off different types of Piranha Plants, and of course, Mega Smilax is actually a boss from the game Super Mario RPG. Within Yoshi's Woolly World, there's actually a reference to Yoister Island in the form of Yoister cookies. And of course, finally, we have, of course, the biggest thing, which is Super Mario RPG was on the NES Classic. Now, it could be that, well, that was possibly one of the most popular games on the NES. Or it could be that Nintendo's like, hey, pay attention to this game. It's very, very important. So yeah, let's go and move on to the biggest one, the number 1 pick that I believe can happen, Frisk from Undertale. Here's my reasoning. And yes, it doesn't have as much as Jeannot, but it makes sense on all sorts of skills. First of all, let's look at Sans' Mii costume. Once you get Sans' Mii costume, which of course, by the way, is 75 cents, not only do you get Sans' Mii costume, but you also get a remixed version of Mega Lovania from the game Undertale. And of course, before the Sans costume was even announced or even came out, there was of course a copyright claim from Nintendo themselves on a remixed version of Mega Lovania. So, of course, that is very, very suspicious, knowing that, of course, Sans is the only Mii costume to have a song. to come with a song. I'm sorry, words. Anyways, so let's go and move on to the Banjo and Kazooie moveset showcase, where we see Sakurai actually crediting Toby Fox in beating him in Smash Brothers. Now, the biggest thing is, why was Sakurai and Toby Fox playing Super Smash Brothers together? It's almost as if Toby Fox was testing something, and Sakurai wanted him over to see if to test something out in Super Smash Brothers. Now, I don't know if it's actually the Mii Costume, but it could be the Mii Costume, or it could be an Undertale character in Smash Brothers, aka Frisk. Deltarune actually references Super Smash Brothers in terms of like a joke, but it's still something to note. Also, Undertale is an icon in the indie game genre. Think about it. Without Undertale, nobody would even know Shovel Knight. Okay? The first thing that always comes to mind when you think of indie games is Undertale. No matter what. Sure, you can name off Shovel Knight or whatever, but Undertale is always going to be one of those names mentioned, if not the first name mentioned. And you may be wondering, but Jacob, Frisk's pathicist route can't necessarily work as a moveset. Yes, it can. It can work as a moveset in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I mean, we have Isabelle and Villager, who, by the way, within their games are complete pathicists. And also, a genocide moveset can actually work. And Frisk can wield a knife. I mean, Joker's literally wielding a knife in his moveset. What? But anyways, yeah. I mean, Frisk and Jeannot can definitely happen. A Pokemon sword and shield rep? Most likely. Doom Guy? You bet it. Crash Bandicoot? Maybe. I don't know about him. I mean, Nintendo and PlayStation aren't at good terms, but I don't know. Maybe we can see him. Maybe we can't. What do you guys think? Do you think that I'm actually right in these predictions, or do you think I'm just spatting out words? Let me know within the comment section below. Also, use a file, smash on that like button if you actually did enjoy these predictions, or if you actually agree with me. Subscribe if, of course, you are new, and tap the notification bell to be notified of new videos. My name is Jacob Miller. I'll see you next time on the Jacob Show. Bye-bye.